MMA bout. Let's meet the fighters first. Fighting out of the Dynamic Mortgage Concepts red corner. Please make welcome Joey, the Ironheart Garcia.
Here's the tail of the tape for our 155-pound MMA fight.
Moving up to the 155 division, fairly close in age. Joey Garcia at 24, Edwin Chavez at 23. Garcia slightly shorter at 5'9" to 5'11" for Chavez. Both obviously 155, but both undefeated. Chavez is a tactician and Joey Garcia is a freestyle artist. But go ahead and say it, JR.
Somebody's gonna go.
The 155 division I really like too, because this is kind of where you start to see some of that elite power coming out, but then that conditioning is still usually there as well. So a lot of times you see real well-rounded fighters in this division.
Yeah, well conditioned enough to keep a very exciting pace throughout the entirety of the fight, as well as having that ability to just change it with one punch at any moment. Ironheart Garcia, that's got to be a hard-earned nickname. Definitely have to show some folks that there's no quit in you.
Getting Vaselined up. For the folks at home, they do put some Vaseline basically on all the points. So you're going to put it right on the eyebrows, on the bridge of the nose, just to make sure that that glove doesn't stick when it hits you. It kind of tries to prevent some of those splits and cuts and stuff like that. It is required to only be on those points. You can't put it anywhere else on the body. That's why you've got a referee standing right next to him, somebody from the commission, to make sure there's nothing hinky going on.
Yes, indeed. No hinkiness.
Mr. Garcia making his lap around the ring. We'll wait for his opponent to make his walk.
And now, fighting out of the blue course, shooting center blue corner. Please make welcome Edwin Godspeed Chavez.
Chavez making the medium-length drive from Colorado Springs.
Depends on the day and if there's any accidents, right, JR?
True enough. Snowstorms, yes. Representative of Pariah MMA. We saw Ashley Dean, one of their fighters, look real good earlier. Going to see some more of her later. And so a couple fighters on the card for the Pariah team, and always looking for good action when they're in the cage. Like a little last-second adjustment on the hand wraps there, and cutting off a little excess tape. And referee Oscar Martinez says everything's good with the Vaseline. The fingernails are trimmed, and away we go. And that actually is something that they're looking for, is to make sure you don't have something that's going to gouge your opponent.
Yeah, it'll be something that can disrupt the fight real quick.
This 155-pound MMA bout is presented by R&R Fitness and Meal Prep. It's now time to meet the fighters. First, fighting out of the Dynamic Mortgage Concepts red corner, representing Train, Fight, Win from Denver, Colorado. Please make welcome Joey, the Iron Heart Garcia. And his opponent, fighting out of the Blue Corps Shooting Center blue corner, representing Pariah MMA from Colorado Springs, Colorado. Please make welcome Edwin Godspeed Chavez. This 155-pound MMA bout is scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. Referee Tom Johnson.
Green fight win represented by Mr. Garcia wearing the black and yellow trunks, facing off against Edwin Chavez wearing the silver trunks. He is a representative of Pariah MMA. Referee Tom Johnson representing the state of Colorado this evening for the Boxing Commission. And away we go.
A hand touch to start the round. Let's see if Chavez opens up with some long strikes just to keep this at bay. He is the taller fighter. He looks very long, very lean. Nice head kick right off the bat.
Nice move there by Garcia. He started to throw a knee, saw he didn't have the distance, actually turned it into a kick, even though he still had upper body contact with his opponent. Good vision in the fight being shown by Garcia already. And wow, Garcia, I was about to say, having his back taken, and he turns it into a throw.
Yep, and then immediately back up for Chavez, tying it back up, pushing Garcia up against the cage. Now, as the taller fighter, working those knees, he's got basically a double under control right now, which is where you've got your arms underneath your opponent's armpits. Makes it a lot easier to throw those knees from there. Back out to the center. Beautiful leg kick.
Garcia getting a lot of shoulder twists in his punches, really sort of a Mike Tyson looking punch when he throws there. Definitely putting everything into it.
Chavez throws up a head kick. Now, he's got to be careful, especially in MMA. We were talking about this in the kickboxing fight, but you've got to set your kicks up. And when you just throw a head kick, it's so easy to get that caught, immediately get taken down just like that.
Well played, sir. Wow.
Yep.
And then as his foot comes back down with the opposite side, he throws another head kick. Fun fight for the fans so far here. Ooh,
Good
and a
knee.
stabbing knee.
I'm impressed. Good takedown defense so far from Chavez. A lot of times when you're the taller fighter, it's so easy for that other guy to get in and get a better leverage and get you taken down. So I'm impressed with the takedown defense so far.
More stabbing knees by Chavez.
Ooh, that head kick just misses by Chavez.
And Chavez had set it up with the punch. He talked about that. Don't just throw the single kick.
Yep, he
set
threw
it
that
up
hook.
with the punch, and it nearly came through for him.
Some beautiful knees being thrown by Chavez right now, and there is some redness on Garcia's right eye. I'm not sure if that's from the kick or if that's from a punch, but we'll see if that plays a factor later in the fight.
Chavez seeming to find his range here a little bit as the round wears on. And the knees of Chavez are just something that's really impressive this evening.
Garcia doing a good job of pressuring, and I'm impressed with Chavez just being able to move his head. He's not really absorbing a lot of damage, and Garcia is throwing a lot of punches, so he's expending some energy right now. We'll see how that factors into the next round.
SCL 70 is presented by The Dab by Next Harvest. All about providing top-of-the-line cannabis products at the most affordable prices. The Dab by Next Harvest.
I saw that fight going to the ground, and it didn't. It stayed on the feet the entire time. Moving over to the replay here in a second, we'll be able to catch up on some of the highlights from that round.
So if you're in the corner of Chavez, he had those beautiful stabbing knees. He worked well from a range. What are you telling him that he needs to adjust to?
Basically, I think what he needs to do if I'm in his corner is I'm telling him to stay long in the beginning of the round, throw those punches, get Garcia distracted, and then follow those punches up with a kick. That head kick is landing great, but he's got to distract him somehow. He can't just throw it up. That's how he's going to get taken down. He's had great takedown defense so far. But if he just throws that leg up and it gets caught, it's going to be an easy ride.
And how about in the corner of Garcia? What advice do you have for that gentleman?
On that side, I'm telling him to shut up and get inside. He's being kind of kept at bay right now. Needs to duck his head, get in, throw some body shots, and then secure a double leg.
Well, it shows he has great takedowns by virtue of the head and arm hip toss that he had in round 1. So.
Yep. And here we go. Beautiful uppercut by Chavez right off the bat.
Oh, and Chavez again with the knees.
So right now, there we go. That was the takedown that I was talking about. And the biggest thing that he did on that second takedown that he didn't do on the first, he actually changed levels. He didn't bend over at the waist. He changed levels and he shot in, which is what he's going to have to do. Chavez's takedown defense is really good so far.
And now that Garcia has scored the takedown, saw him fake the takedown and then come upstairs with the punch. That was before this series here, but once you threaten with that takedown, show it to your opponent. That opens up some options for you as far as feints.
Yep, and now here's the time that the corner's got to be yelling position over submission. Secure that position. He's finally gotten him to the ground. He needs to lock something down. Don't worry about landing damage until you know that your opponent can't get back up.
Working a little bit of a leg ride with one leg is Garcia, but Chavez able to turn in on him. Comes back to standing. Nicely done by Chavez. As impressive as he's been with his takedown defense.
It was a great
doing as good of a job getting back up. But boy, look at Garcia when he wants to put his wrestling on display. My goodness.
Yeah, that was a great single leg. He had it locked and just a big dump. Working on getting around the guard right now. But this is one of those spots where I'm talking, you've got to secure a position. Right now, this is a good spot, realistically, for Chavez to be in. He's not really in any immediate danger. He's got a little bit of a butterfly guard in. He can throw submissions from here. He can roll out just like he did. Yes, and now he's got top position.
Well done in the scramble by Mr. Chavez, showing he's putting in his gym time and understanding the position before submission.
Yep, go ahead and standing him back up, throwing those stabbing knees. We've seen some really great knees in this fight from Chavez.
And as soon as Garcia tries to answer with a knee of his own, it's Chavez threatening with the single leg.
Yeah, but if I'm Chavez here, I let this go and I go right back to the center of the octagon. I make Garcia follow me around, and I keep him at the end of my punches. This is exactly where Garcia wants to be because he's got the shot to get another takedown.
Boy, and those knees are just brutal. I mean, Garcia doesn't seem to show any wear from him, but my gosh, what a great job by Chavez with his knee strikes tonight.
Ooh, good knee to the chest.
Not allowed to knee to the head in the amateur division in Colorado, and Chavez showing he's well aware of that and doing a great job with the targeting of his knee strikes.
Yeah, Garcia taking a few deep breaths there. Good leg kick by Garcia, but a great overhand right by Chavez. Both these guys kind of seemed content at first to take that 10-second clacker, and then they fired off a couple of shots. That's going to be a really tough round to score to me, JR. You've got a couple of takedowns by Garcia. Chavez has a couple of reversals, some really good strikes. Don't want to be a judge in round number 2.
Yes, indeed. Makes our cage side job seem kind of easy. I'm undefeated from behind the mic.
That's 100% true. Now, I've got to imagine that Chavez... Oh, looking at the replay here. Sorry about that, guys. Here's that big single leg by Garcia. Nice dump. And going back to what I was trying to say, Garcia, if I'm in his corner right now, I'm telling him that his takedown is working, but he's got to secure his position immediately. He can't give Chavez the chance to stand back up. He needs to just get some riding time, score some damage.
And in all fairness, a lot of that is just that Chavez is doing the right things to escape.
You're right. And I've been very impressed with Chavez's takedown defense. His ground game has been impressive. Right off the bat, Garcia looking to shoot in. Secures the single and dumps him. Now let's see if he secures the position.
Peppering punches there by Garcia, just kind of enough to give himself a moment to think about what he's going to try to transition to next. And
Chavez does a great job of staying shrimped and manages to stand back up, trying to score a single of his own.
And he gets it, reaches through, gets the knee tap. Nice done by Chavez on his takedown. See if he's able to secure position. Good head, shoulder, chest position here for Chavez. Basically has the entirety of his upper body above his opponent. Makes it so much easier to pressure down.
Yep, and this is a good spot for Chavez. He's up on the scorecards, I believe. Just keeping pressure on, keeping Garcia up against the cage. Nothing Garcia's throwing from here is going to hurt him. And as long as he can stay busy, the ref's not going to stand it up. So he's going to let him sit in this position, see if he can't secure back mount. He's got one leg locked in, I think. He's got one hook in. Riding a little bit high. And position is switched. Garcia got that switch. And that's the problem, is when your hips ride high when you're trying to take somebody's back, it's real easy to just kind of fall over the top of them.
Looking for a leg lock here is Chavez trying to roll through with it, but that's a dangerous proposition. You have to tie up both your arms, and you're kind of right underneath your opponent where he can drop some heavy bombs.
Yep.
Ooh, almost a knee to the head on the way up there.
Yeah, it was. A nice slick move by Chavez. I don't know if you guys caught that at home, but as they both tried to stand up, Chavez just kind of slipped his right leg around, hooked, and just pulled out. Managed to get Garcia right back to the ground, and in a modified mount at the moment. See if he can't secure that. Basically what he needs to do is he needs to get Garcia's hips pulled just a little bit away from the cage so he can finish that mount and hopefully mount some more offense.
And Garcia looking to roll through. Chavez one hook in.
Now this is where he's got to be careful. The mistake he made last time was he let his hips get real high up onto the shoulder blades. Just like he is right now, he's trying to slip that next hook in. If he can get that hook in, he can flex his legs out and really flatten Garcia out. This is not a position he wants to be in late in the fight.
Only 10 seconds left. Good position for Chavez to end the fight in. Well, I was going to say end the fight in, but Garcia gets a reversal. I was going to say make sure the last thing the judges see is you being in a dominant position, but it was Garcia that came through able to pull that off, and see how the judges think this one went. And wow, what an entertaining fight by both of these fighters.
That was one heck of a fight.
Hard work, my goodness.
And what I'm the most impressed with is you don't see a lot of MMA fights that go seamlessly from the ground to the feet, from the ground to the feet. Looking at the replay, here's that last big single leg in this third round.
Wow.
A beautiful takedown, and notice how he lands right inside mount. That was a great job. But Chavez just always seemed to have the answer. Going back to what I was talking about, you don't see a lot of fights like this that go seamlessly from stand up to the ground. They both get stood back up. There was great knees, great clinch work, great distance striking.
Yeah.
This was a good fight all around. You can see why both these guys were undefeated coming in.
Absolutely, both guys very well-rounded, showing that they understand all the positions, all the transitions, been putting in their time in the gym, and not just working on what might be their favorite technique or favorite position to work in. These guys showing that they've pretty much seen it all. So that speaks to the gyms and the trainers, putting them through their paces.
And something else that surprised me was with Chavez, when he was on his feet and Garcia was really pushing forward, he didn't really have his hands up, and he was kind of just bobbing and weaving with his head, but his movement was so good he wasn't getting hit. You see a lot of guys try to do that, and they just take one right on the chin. I was impressed with the head movement from Chavez coming into this fight as well.
Takes a lot of confidence to employ that defense.
You're not kidding.
All right, we'll take it up to Sean. He'll let us know how the judges saw it.
Mr. Sparkles.
After 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges scored about 29-28, declaring your winner by unanimous decision, Edwin Chavez.
Congratulations to the
Back with a post-fight
MMA
interview
fighter,
and
Mr.
also
Chavez.
a special ceremony
Chavez
for our beneficiary.
had a little look
in
of
just a couple
surprise
of
on his
moments.
face when they announced that, but that was kind of how I had it scored. I thought he had won that fight. I can see them giving a round to Garcia, but I think that was the right call.
Close fight. Well, we'll thank some sponsors here, and then we'll take it to Bailey Winters for the post-fight interview with Mr. Chavez.
I'm back here now with Edwin Chavez, who just won a very tough fight tonight. How does it feel to get that win?
Well, it feels great. It's just the beginning, but it feels great.
Your opponent was very tough. I've seen him come back from a lot of adversity. What was your key to victory in this fight tonight?
Just pushing back. It's everything I do every day. I couldn't do it without my coaches, without my family, without everybody pushing me, and like that's what got me through this one was just my back. You know, the people that have my back.
It was a very back and forth fight for the most part. What do you think was the edge that gave you the win tonight?
Just I kept pushing it. I don't know. Just a little bit more throwing. I feel like a little more that I threw that really. But it was a great fight. It was close. I thought it was close to the very end.
It was a great performance tonight. Anybody that you want to thank?
I just gotta thank my coach Drew, my manager Lawrence. Gotta thank my dad, my teammates, the gym Pariah. I couldn't do it without none of them, and God, of course.
Congratulations on your win tonight. We hope to see you back here soon. Great job.